Hey, it's event producer Josh Schoenwolf, and you're listening to Philadelphia's hottest inspirational talk show, Millennia-High, hosted by the amazing Tia Shasha High.
Hey, this is your girl, Tia Shasha High, the host of Millennia-High, where the trend-setting millennial comes for motivation, inspiration, and deep conversation. On today's show, I have the lovely Monique O'Neal. Hey, Monique.
Hey, greetings, beloveds. How are you?
Monique is the CEO and founder of Softly Rugged. She's a master herbalist, aromatherapist, and so much more. We'll talk about detoxifying the body. And as we all know, detoxification is about resting, cleansing, and nourishing the body from the inside out. So find out a little bit more about that and how you can do that on today's show. So stick around. Phone lines will be open. So any calls or comments, concerns that you have, call in and Monique can help you out, right?
Yes. Call in, kings and queens. Yes, beloveds, call in with all your questions. Nothing is off the table.
Now, last week was officially the last day of the fund drive for WPPM. But we extended that. So today is the last day for the fund drive. Each week, WPPM 106.5 produces over 65 hours of original local content for the community. And WPPM stands for People Powered Media. So if you enjoy content like this, which is content that supports, highlights, and uplifts those in the community, please join me in supporting independent commercial-free media by making a donation today. So go to phillycam.org. On top, you'll see a donate button. Click that, and any bit helps. I mean, we appreciate everything, and I appreciate you. So go ahead and do that right now. While you're listening, but do it right now. A little bit about Millennia-High. This show serves as a platform for those who want to inspire and provoke others to take action towards their purpose in life. So if you have an inspirational, uplifting, thought-provoking message you want to share with the millennials of the world, I want you. Be on the show. Hit me up on IG or Facebook. It's Millennia-High, or you can just go the old school route and email me at millennia-high, millennia-high@gmail.com, and let's connect. But first, as always, let's set the mood for today's show. This song has been on my mind since I've heard it, which was a few weeks ago. But I've been playing it on repeat nonstop. So this is Ariana Grande, No Tears Left to Cry. And we'll be back. And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM in Philadelphia. I'm Tia Shasha High, your host of Millennia-High. I have Monique O'Neal here in the studio. Your mic's on, baby girl.
Oh, yay. How is everyone? How are you, beloveds? How are you out there?
So as I said earlier, Monique is the CEO and founder of Softly Rugged Inc. She's a master herbalist. She is an aromatherapist, author, speaker, and she has over 20 years specializing in restorative herbal healing, which is amazing. And that's why she's on the show today. Through grassroots efforts, community outreach, and social media, Monique creates and conducts intervention and wellness programs for women who are suffering from emotional, physical, and spiritual womb trauma. To date, she's emotionally restored and empowered over 400 women and men throughout the states of New York, Georgia, Washington, California, Philadelphia. So
Yes.
that's Pennsylvania, right? Don't forget Pennsylvania in there. With a stronger self-esteem, self-image, self-confidence through holistic healing. So it was so important to have Monique on the show. I first met Monique through a Women in Media event. And actually, I would go to a ton of women in media events, and I would see her because you would always be at the table or helping out.
That's right.
But once we finally connected, I'm like, I was so drawn to her anyway. And this is why. Honestly, she's just has a really great vibe, a really great energy about her. Like she just exudes, just confidence, and
Thank you.
She's just an amazing person. So, Monique, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Queen. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you feeling today?
I am feeling so blessed. My energy is high. My vibrations is high. I'm water fasting. And I'm just like on a whole nother realm right now. I'm just loving it. I'm just euphoric. I'm just glowing. I'm excited.
And that's contagious because, now I feel better. I went up a few frequencies since from sitting here when she walked. First, when Monique walked in, she looks so beautiful. If you go on my IG stories, Millennial High IG stories, you'll see her. And I'm like, where did you just come from? Like, church or somewhere? She's like, no, I did this all for you. I was like, really? She looks gorgeous as always. So Monique, tell us a little bit about your background, just because I know you have, this is in your family, like passed through generations. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So yes, I come from a long line of medicine women and medicine men. My lineage is indigenous to this land, Turtle Island. Most people don't know that America was called Turtle Island before Christopher Columbus came and quote unquote found America, right? So I come from a tribe of healers, and my affinity for herbalism, chemistry, horticulture, and botany has always been there. I was like the only little girl in New York City saying, oh, I'm going to have a farm and I want a bee farm and I want, acres of land and to live in the mountains. But I've always been intrigued with healing because it's something that I've seen my entire life. Like my mom was organic before organic was a fad, so we were always creating products in the house. My grandmother would always whip up something for when my face would break out when I was on Broadway when I was younger. She was like, oh, that makeup is messing up your skin. And she would whip something up, and in a week, less than 2 weeks, my skin would be clear and flawless. I didn't have any self-esteem issues anymore because my skin was clear. And then that's when the light bulb hit. I was actually in school at Georgia Tech, double majoring in computer and electrical engineering when I decided to go ahead and get my credentials as a master herbalist, even though I've been trained my entire life. So in my family, there's a book that's handed down from generation to the eldest. And my mom transitioned. So now that book is in my hand, and it's herbal remedies and holistic remedies predating like the 1600s. Wow. So a lot of my formulations are like centuries old formulations that have been tried and true to my tribe. However, the conversion of wood ash to potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide was not a bit of a challenge because I was already in school for engineering. Right. So just doing the chemistry portion of it. So yes. That's a little bit of my background. I've done this professionally for over 20 years. I do a lot of grassroots things, having pop-up clinics in very urbanized areas because I feel as though for my genotype, the African genotype, it's important. I studied under the late, great Alfredo Bowman. For you who do know who he is, or for you who may not know, that's Dr. Sabi. I went to Honduras for a month and sat at his feet and just learned so much about our genotype. And just incorporating the knowledge and information that I had gotten from him, plus the knowledge and information from my tribe, was just phenomenal.
What was that experience like to be there for that month? How was that? So
first off, the Usha Institute is gorgeous. It's beautiful. Okay. Depending upon what airport you go to, it can be a 3-hour drive, a 70-minute ride on a ferry, or it's like an hour and a half drive. So it's 3 ways that you can get there. I took the ferry ride there. It was a beautiful experience. Like week 2 in, I was cleansing and fasting, of course, and I was walking around into the jungle because it's like in the jungle.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I can't stop saying wow.
It's in the jungle. So I was eating some burro bananas and I was just like eating fruit. And one of those little monkeys popped out of the tree, popped my hand and took my fruit.
Really?
And that was like the most awkward and beautiful moment I had in my life. I said, what? Wait a minute. Did this really happen? Did I just get chastised by a monkey? And did the monkey just really take my banana? Like, I laughed for about 15 minutes. I was like, I'm going to get you, monkey. And he just like turned around and looked at me and kept going, eating my banana the whole way through. So I just had, it was such a beautiful experience getting in those healing waters, because it's hot. And I like everything hot. I like spicy food. I like hot showers and baths.
What is that? What does the heat mean? Like liking the spicy foods, the hot showers, so the hot springs. Why is that? Is that healing in any way?
It is. Liking spicy foods heals you from any parasitic entities that you may have in your body. So it helps cleanse out. It's like a blood purifier. So the spicier the food is without tearing up the insides of your body, the better it'll be for cleansing out any free radicals in your system and getting rid of parasites. So it's good for those who can actually handle it and deal with spicy foods. Absolutely.
Because I can handle some. I know some people, and just like, this is so spicy to you. Is it? Because I don't really taste anything. Everyone has like a different, regulator. So let's talk about, I know you said something about right now you're on a water cleanse.
Yes.
So I want to get into detoxifying the body and all the knowledge that you have. Well, not all of it. It's only 1 hour show. But just highlights of how can we, especially now, for the summertime or just to feel good.
Yes.
There's such a difference that it makes like in your psyche when you are working with your body. It's not like you're not working against it by like filling it with a lot of like toxins and bad foods, but when you actually eat healthy, like it just feels good. It's like something that happens. So I do want you to get into that. So let's first talk about your water fast. Why fast? Because I hear that a lot.
Okay, so fasting helps. It depends on what fast, but I'm just going to give you the blanket term. When you fast, it helps cleanse every part of your body. And we tend to forget that our mind, body, and soul is all connected. In this society, we tend to isolate those things out and think of them as separate things. But when you're fasting, you're giving your body a rest. You're giving your organs a rest. You're giving the stressors that's in your body a rest. Like you're giving your organs a rest. The stress that's in your body is able to be released out. A water fast is definitely not something faint at heart. Like, so if this is your first time fasting or if you're thinking about fasting, I would highly suggest doing either a vegetable and fruit fast, right? Doing that, meaning that you would only eat raw fruits and raw vegetables, or a juice fast. Okay. A water fast is just that, straight water. Now there's a lot of Western doctors who may think otherwise as far as water fasting. There have been countless studies. There is a beautifully done documentary that's on Amazon, and I'm not here to plug Amazon, but I'm just letting you know it is on Amazon and other outlets. I'm not sure if it's on, Hulu or Netflix, that you can look at just to get some more information about water fasting. It's called The Science of Fasting. And in Russia, Germany, and Sweden, that's what they do. They have clients that come to these getaway retreats, and all they consume is water. And not only that, they get massages, they work out. You can do a lot of things by water fasting. You would be amazed how beautiful your skin would look. You would be amazed by the unnecessary weight you'll lose by water fasting. You'll be amazed if you were a plus size man or woman and you were scared to work out because your skin is going to be loose. Going through the water fast process, after a certain point, your body will stop using the extra fat that you have in your body as a reserve and start eating away that dead skin, so your skin is right and tight. But of course, Big Pharma here in Western world don't want you to know that. And water fasting is something that's not unbeknownst to us as far as a people, indigenous people to this earth, because water fasting has been around since biblical times.
Now, and it's interesting, I went to a conference last week at the convention center. It was called the National Achievers Congress, and Tony Robbins was there, Gary Vee was there, Les Brown was there, and it was such a great experience. And Tony Robbins, you know how he is. He's just like full of like energy, like he comes out and he's just like a beast, like, you know, but he says that's what he does. Like, he believes in fasting. And he talked about that, and he says that, you know, when you pay like the thousands of dollars to go to one of his seminars, you're going like, it's like 15 hours straight.
Yeah, it is.
You know, he doesn't let you break at all. And you're jumping, you're talking, and he's just like, listen, he's like, your body can handle it. You don't even know what your body can do. Like, you don't have to eat. But, I mean, you have to eat. But what he was saying was just in that time, you'll be okay.
That's
know,
right.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner that we're trained to have. Your body can make that. It'll live off the reserve, like you said.
Yes.
I find that interesting. So there are different types of fasting. So what you said was water fasting is one way, but it's not for the faint of heart.
That's right.
The raw veggie.
Yes, the raw veggies.
And the fruit.
Yes.
Or the juice. Now, I know the juice fasting. Like, I see that all the time. And then you'll have, is this something that you can do yourself at home, or do you have to outsource that? Because I know there's so many juice bars now because how popular it is. But it's just like, it's $10 a bottle.
No, beloved. You can definitely do this at home yourself. You don't have to have a Vitamix, and you don't have to have a juicer. You can do this with a blender. You can get you one of them blenders online for like $25 and get your smoothie-esque juicing into play. What I would say is, when you're juicing, do it from an alkaline diet, right? Do it from...
So what does that mean?
Alkaline. So it's making sure that your body is alkaline on the pH scale, right? So that you're a 7 and above. That means that your body is alkaline. By alkalining your body, any type of anything, like for people who have suffered from cancer or is prone to cysts, fibroids, endometriosis, lupus, making sure that you have an alkaline diet, because it's pretty much parasitic. Those germs and toxins in your body would not be able to survive. And instead of them exploding and running rampant in your body, they start to implode and eat on themselves, and you're able to pass them out. So doing something as far as a cleanse on an alkaline diet, as far as an alkaline juicing, you can do. So I would say for alkaline juice, I can give you a recipe here, right? You can use 2 large kale leaves, a handful of spinach, a banana. Now, all of these ingredients that I'm giving you, I'm letting you know they need to be organic.
Okay.
We do not need to purchase any or consume any conventional foods. The pesticides and herbicides that they put on these foods are ridiculous. Okay. So just so you know that. And it does a lot with the estrogen in our body, and it does a lot with the testosterone in the king's bodies. So we need to be very cautious on purchasing food. You can go to Trader Joe's if you're in the Philadelphia or South Jersey area. They have reasonable prices. You can go to your ShopRite or, your, what other supermarket? Super Fresh, Fresh Grocer, Giant. The list goes on, and go and utilize the organic section. It's important because we're ingesting those chemicals when you're buying conventional foods, and it stays in your body. It gets in your muscle tissue. And then sometimes we're wondering why our emotions are all over the place.
Right.
Why, for women, why are our cycles lasting long? For men, why is my erection not lasting long enough? I'm doing everything that I need, but it's that you're consuming constantly poison. And that's what it is. It's poison.
Yeah.
I come from a family who says if you have food out, okay, because I'm originally from New York. So in New York City, if you have a piece of food out, right, and you live in a certain area and there's some cockroaches or mice or something around, and you notice that the bugs in your house aren't eating those, you better not consume it. Okay, I want food that other beings want. I want to ingest food that insects want, not food that insects is like, nah, I'm good. Yeah. And then they're going to go ahead and pass it and go on to something else. When have you ever seen a roach pass up anything? I've seen one pass up a Twinkie. That's when I knew you should not be consuming Twinkies. And this was back in the 80s when I was a very little girl.
Can I tell you? Just we're gonna go back to the alkaline juice recipe. Don't worry, don't worry. But I have to say something about what you said about. So I work on a college campus. So, all there is just like a whole bunch of food trucks and there's food everywhere. There's plenty of food on college campuses. And kids drop stuff, So you see squirrels like just hanging out wanting food. And they're the fattest squirrels you have ever seen on college campuses. And I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing to these the animals here? Because they're starting to eat all the bad foods that we're eating. And they're the chubbiest squirrels I've ever seen at this campus. I'm like, I've never seen bigger squirrels than on this campus. And then I saw a little bird, and it was one of those it's not a Skittle, but I can't think of it. It's like one of those like Twizzler candies with like sugar on top of them, and the little bird was picking at it. I'm like, no, don't eat that.
I mean, we have messed with nature so much.
I'm like, that's not good for you to eat. Don't eat that. Like, but okay, let's get back to the alkaline juice.
Yes. So I'm going to reiterate from the beginning.
Okay.
This is an alkaline juice that you can start off your juicing fast if this is something that you want to fast with. If not, I highly suggest that you don't. Okay. Despite popular belief about breakfast being the most important meal of the day, it's called break fast for a minute, right? Mm-hmm. For a reason, right? You have to take the opportunity to let your body recover. The reason that we're supposed to break fast, aka breakfast, is because we're going to introduce eating again into our body. Our body just had, supposedly, if we're going to sleep for 8 hours a night, a full 8 hours of recovery mode, right? Rejuvenation mode. So renewal time. Mm-hmm. So when you break your fast, aka breakfast, because that's what it is, you want to go ahead and consume something that's light, nothing that's heavy. So no sausages, no like a whole bunch of eggs and cheese, no, none of that, right? You should start with a piece of fruit or some vegetables, something very light. I'm a firm believer of your heaviest meal of the day needs to be during lunch. The reason being is because you're still active, you're still in motion, where that food can be digested properly, the nutrients in that's getting into your body can fully absorb, and anything else your body will be able to expel it out in an appropriate time. Now, eating heavy dinners, look, okay, again, I have had some heavy dinners before. However, that's something that you do not want to consistently do. So here's your alkaline juice recipe. You would take 2 large organic kale leaves. Yes, organic kale leaves. You would take a handful of organic spinach. You would get an organic banana. If possible, get the burro bananas. Those are the little tiny bananas that look like you should give them to a 2 or 3-year-old.
Right.
Those are very good. They're chock full of all the nutrients that you need. Potassium, bananas is good for potassium. So those of you out there who suffer from muscle spasms, get up on your bananas. So get you a banana. If not, then get a medium-sized organic banana. Okay. Get a half a cup of frozen organic mango. Okay. Get 2 thumb-sized knobs of ginger. Ginger is good. Ginger is a diuretic. Ginger is a decongestant. Ginger helps with losing weight and getting toxins out of your body. Then you get a half of an organic lemon. Now, we do know that lemons are hybrids. That's something that man created, right? So if you don't want the organic lemon, that's fine. You can get an organic lime because it's a hybrid of a lime. So you can go ahead and get a half of lemon or lime and you squeeze that in. And then you get a cup of distilled or spring water. No tap water. No tap water. The process, first off, here we go, right? I'm on my rant. Yeah. First off, they haven't even done a good job with purifying or quote unquote cleaning the tap water. Like the process of cleaning tap water is ridiculous with all of the chemicals that they put in there. And I'm talking about beyond chlorine. It's like a 24-hour process just to clean the water. And this is something that we're supposed to ingest. And then we're wondering why a lot of these kids are running around here and adults are running around here 2 kinds of kookalook. Okay. So get distilled water. Distilled water means that everything is taken out. It's just pure H2O. Or get you spring water. Spring water is just something that you can ingest. It's natural to the land and it has It may have some bacteria and stuff in it. However, it's nothing in there that's going to harm you because the bacteria isn't living. You understand? So you can drink spring water and step in the spring with your shoes on and still drink the water and you'll be fine. So distilled water, spring water, you go ahead and put that in your blender, your Vitamix, whatever you have. You blend it up to the consistency that you like and you'll drink it, and you'll be surprised how you won't even taste the spinach and the kale. Like, it'll be green because of it, but you won't even taste it. And then if you want to get jazzy with it, you could put like a teaspoon or a tablespoon of sarsaparilla in it. You know, you can go ahead and sprinkle a little ginseng in it. You can go ahead and do other things. But this is just the basic for those who may not know how to juice, and it will get you started. Start doing that every morning. Like, doing a juice fast doesn't mean that you have to do it all throughout the day. I want people to get comfortable with going back to their roots. Right. I want people to get comfortable with holistic healing, period. And a lot of holistic healers are known for rushing and telling you, you need to stop doing all of this right now. No. That's how you scare people and you frighten people, and they don't want to listen, and then they don't want to get healed. You have to do it on your own time, right? We have to be truthful as adults about what it is that we're willing to do and what we're willing not to do.
And you know what? I'm going to put that recipe on my Facebook page, and I'll put it in my IG stories too. I tried to capture it in the stories while Monique was talking, but there's some cutoffs because it's only 15 seconds, right? So I'm definitely going to get that recipe from her and take and post it up for you guys. But hang on tight. Don't forget, you can call in after this break, 215-923-9776. Any questions you have for Monique, she's willing and happy to answer.
Yes.
I'm going to play a song. And then after the song, we're going to come back. It's called Hearts Ain't Gonna Lie. I love this song. It's another one that you want to get up and dance to, right? All right, so we will see you on the other side. One moment. And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM in Philadelphia. I am Tia Shasha, your host of Millennia-High. I have the one and only Monique O'Neal in the studio.
Hey.
And she is like dropping gems. She is so like full of knowledge. Over the break, I'm like, I love everything that you're saying. I really wish I would have known this a while ago, when my daughter was young, and so I could raise her this way. But now she's stuck with like the soul food, like all the bad things that I'm trying to, just, get out of her life a little bit, but she's just not having it. So I know Monique was telling me something about like, listen, soul food, this is what it is. Well, we have a caller. One moment.
But now
Hi, this is Tia, Millennia-High.
Like all the bad things that I'm
trying
to...
Hello, Tia.
Is that my voice in the back? I hear, do you have the radio on? If you have to, can you turn it down? Just a little bit.
Yeah, hold on a second.
I'm like, who is that voice in the background? And that's me. Hey, what's your name?
Hey, this is Brooke. How are you?
Hey, Brooke.
Hey, Brooke.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Queen. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you for asking.
Hey.
I have a quick question. Now, I was listening to how we were talking about, we should get more organic into our lifestyles and everything.
Yes.
And I definitely am the type of person that I fluctuate from eating really well to binging terribly, right?
Okay.
So how can I guess the question is like, how is it, should I like incorporate all the healthy stuff all at once, or will that give my body a shock, or should I slowly incorporate everything healthy? Like how can I get my diet to be like perfect, I should say?
Okay, so how you should tighten up on your diet is being realistic and honest with yourself about what it is and where you are, right? Not where you expect other people to believe that you need to be, or not even where you perceive yourself to be in the future, but like where you are in the current present moment. And it's okay. Don't feel guilty about binging. Don't feel guilty about like if you ate perfectly, quote unquote perfectly, and had your vegetables and all your fruits and, you know, you were eating good for 6 days. And on that 7th day, you wanted to throw down a bag of chips. It's okay. Eat the bag of chips. It's about doing it gradually. And it's not like a diet. It's a lifestyle change. So whenever you're making a change for your life, it's going to take time. You didn't accumulate this diet overnight, you know, this current lifestyle that you have overnight. So it is perfectly fine. Do it gradually if you want. I would highly suggest, like, think of certain foods. Like if you're a person that's prone to like eggs all the time, right? Instead of using eggs all the time, and I'm not saying this is you, this is just like a hypothetical. Instead of using eggs all, just the juice from chickpeas, and you can whip it up. It's like egg whites. Omelets, you can whip it up and make it like whipped cream. I mean,
where do you buy that?
You could just get it from cans of chickpeas. Literally, just buy a can of chickpeas, and the juice, the water from the chickpeas, it's like coagulated a little bit. It's like a little, and you can whip it up. It's just like egg whites.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you can make meringues. You can do all of those things. So I would say take 3 or 4 days out of the week where your intentions and your energy intention is focused on, you know, a better eating. Slowly wean yourself off of what it is that your vice is. For me, my vice was starch. Potatoes, breads, and pastas.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be honest with you, Queen, right? And I had to slowly change. So instead of getting whole wheat pasta, I went to spelt. Instead of eating, you know, so just finding different alternatives so that you can still feel of you. So I'm not like other holistic healers that say, oh, you're anybody. Because at the end of the day, my goal is to make sure that you're a very short amount of time here. And I want you to enjoy every moment of it. And that talk about what Tia was talking about earlier about the soul food. See, our ancestors thought of soul food for feeding our souls, right? We had this symbiotic relationship with nature. Then slave trade and different things that nature, if you're part of the African, and we've adapted another nation of people's things that we consider comfort food was actually forced on us, and we had to learn how to make the best out of what we were given. Now we're no longer on the fields, right? Now we have that mental field that we're battling. So just making better choices with our foods is good. Organic is best. I have a son, and conventional foods have been messing with young men with their puberty and with their hormones, right? Their testosterone levels. We have a lot of effeminate men out here, and it has a lot to do with diet and chemicals.
And Brooke, do you have any more questions?
Yes.
Or are you good?
No, that was it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you
you
for the
so much
call.
for your question, Brooke. I appreciate you, Queen. You have a good day.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks.
Brooke.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so, and you said something that, you know, I love what you just said. You said that we're no longer on the fields, but we're battling the field of the mind, right? And like, that's like a show on its own. But
yes, it is.
when you said that was like deep. That was so deep. Now let's get into the body detoxification more. Yes. Let's go there.
Okay.
That's fine.
So we should realize, for those who may and for those who do not, that when your body is in dis-ease, right, it forms disease, right? So due to the stressors of life, due to us not really paying attention to our overall health, due to underlying reasons, you know, we have medical professionals out there that's saying, oh, this is hereditary in your family. And it's not. It's something that's traditional in your family. It's something that's generational in your family. And a lot of dis-ease stems from unhealthy eating habits. In North America, right, we have a society that's laden with processed foods.
Yes.
Cheese that doesn't melt. Burgers that's not real burger, that's not from a cow. Like, they create so many different things in the labs. It's horrible. And we're ingesting this. Yep. And those poisons and chemicals are staying in our body. They're putting dyes in our food that's chemical laden. And it can cause mineral buildup, like metal buildup in your brain. It can cause cysts and tumors to grow in your body. It causes mucus to form in your lymph node system, and all of that mucus in your lymph node system causes disease. But our body is in dis-ease because of what we're putting into it. And we have to realize that the mind, body, and soul is a trifecta together. It's not something that needs to be separated. Have you ever wondered why some vegans and vegetarians got cancer? And you're like, wait a minute. They're vegan and vegetarian. They're doing everything right. They're eating right. But what are they thinking? So we have to be mindful of what we're putting into our bodies as far as food, what we're allowing to seep into our body as far as mind, and what we're putting out into the universe as part of our spirit. We have to make sure that we're all encompassing edification, period. You understand? So even though social media is a beautiful thing, it's also a curse too. It's not healthy to be on social media 10, 12 hours of the day. Unless your business revolves around social media, you shouldn't be on there. We need to go ahead and connect back with humans again. We're losing that connection, right? That camaraderie that we had, that communal lifestyle that we're used to due to social media. That's why so many young millennials and Gen Zs out there, they're severely depressed.
Right. And you know what? Was it the last show or the show before that? I was speaking with a musician, and he was talking about how he had to walk away from a record deal because he was depressed. And it was just like, and he had no one to talk to. Like, it got so bad that he had to be admitted. But I mean, at this point, like, just to have someone to talk to, like a guiding light, like we feel like we always have to be on point, on par all the time, like the top of our game. We got to look up, we got to do, but it's like, for who? And does it even matter? It's completely unrealistic to always, this hustle mentality gets you every time. I'm telling you.
It does. We have to take time to recognize where we are. We have to praise us when it's time for us to be praised. And then we have to take an introspection period where we're introspecting within ourselves to decide what it is that we're actually doing. Are you seeking validation from outside influences? If so, are they paying your bills? That's how I look at it. Like, does it really matter what people believe or think about you? Seriously,
it's the truth.
Are they doing anything significant in your life? We have to stop looking to these entertainers and these quote unquote celebrities as a light and as something to aspire to be. Most of them are whores and they give out trash mumble music. I'm sorry for those out there. I like
that is Softly Rugged's opinion.
That is my opinion. Yes, this is Monique's opinion. Yes, I didn't say all artists because I like my little Talib Kweli and I like Mos Def and I like a lot of artists, but we shouldn't be looking to them as if they're the holy grail. They're human beings and they're out there making money, entertaining us. And there's nothing for us really to aspire to or compare our lives to. We have to love self first. And I think a lot of us lost our way with loving ourselves.
And like, even though we're talking about detoxifying the body, but I know that's like the absolute important because it's just like reflects out here, manifest here in your body. So let's get. She has so in her to just like pour knowledge into like all my friends. The floor is yours again, Monique.
So we're going to talk about just emotional detoxification, which is important, right? And when you're doing detoxing, it's being real with yourself. So this is more of an introspective type of emotional stability, right? It has to do with your mental and your emotional stability and your emotional responses to outside influences in the world. By trying to dismiss it and covering it up, that in cortisol levels, that's elevated because you're experiencing emotional trauma. It's other issues, hypertension, diabetes, things of that nature. So whenever you're going through anything traumatic, right, or anything of a loved one, whatever, deal with it. Deal with it in that moment. Why? Self and others. Like, we have gotten into how are you doing? And we're, it's fine, it's okay, because we don't want people to know, but we're really tore up and hurting inside.
And the point that you were making earlier is because you don't feel like you can say these things. Like you said, is like now everyone has to be happy and go lucky, but that's not true. That's not real. There are things that lives that aren't great.
That's right.
Right?
And that's just a human experience.
And that's the human experience. That's what makes us human in the first place.
Yes.
Is that we have that contrast, a dichotomy. Go ahead, Monique.
No. That's absolutely a journey. Happiness is a journey of self. Happiness is and being okay with it. And you're like, the heck with everything else. That's happiness. Because when you're living your truth, when you're living your life the way that you want to live your life, when you're living your life in your own truth, then that's when you're able to experience happiness.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't, because we're too busy trying to be clones. And the Most High created us set apart for a reason. And to realize that, right? You are a miracle for a reason. You up. Point blank and period. Many have tried and many have failed.
Yeah.
You're a star and you are here for a purpose. And know that and honor that, right?
Yeah,
so being
honor
truthful to yourself is important. And being truthful asks you to do something and you know good and well you're not going to do it. Just say, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. Ourselves, it does something chemically in the brain. It does. It does something chemically. We're in a really bad car accident. Like this and putting those vibrations out and speaking those things. Right? I don't know how many of you believe in the holy sacred text of the Bible, but word is your bond. Even if you don't believe in the Bible, many religions or many walks of life believe that your word, it was death. It was a lot of things from a lot of other indigenous global nations on this earth. So when you lie to yourself, universe, not only are you confusing the universe, like, right, you have harm and chemical damage in your brain because and then let it out. If you're having an emotional time, whatever, you go home and you scream into a pillow, you getting Jan Levan's in. She got people digging these and using sticks. And for what? It's a reason. You have to transform that energy because we know energy never dies, but we can transform. Turn off the phone. Don't answer no text messages and forget. This is time for you to love up on you. You do not have to be connected and plugged into the matrix days of year. Miss Lovely Tia spoke about Anthony Robbins. He disconnects.
He does.
He disconnects from social media and he goes and he listens to the trees. He walks along the beach. He's a vegan. He runs at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 every morning, no matter where he is on this earth. So there you go. Let it out. Disconnect from social media. And it's okay to feel bad for yourself. But I have a problem with people who is stuck in that pity party thing. If something horrible happened to you, acknowledge those feelings. Feel bad for yourself. Like, this totally sucks. Why is this? What's going on? But also be truthful about what you let into your life, what you allowed happen to you. So feel sorry, but don't stay there too long. So when I'm going through something, I allow myself to feel bad for myself about 15 to 30 minutes. After that, it's time to put your big girl underwears on, right? Your grown woman, your grown woman pants on and deal with the situation. But we do have to acknowledge those feelings, right? And then you can take a break. Take a break. Take a break and surround yourself with people who truly love you unconditionally. Yes. Don't surround yourself with yes men and yes women. I have had someone in my life recently by the initials of DLK. I'm going to leave it like that. And they gave me the truth in the raw. I've had another individual in my life with the initials MDS, and they gave me the real and the raw. You don't want people in your life that's just always yesing you, okay? We have to realize that some people in our lives just to get a laugh out of you. Some people are in our lives just to say, they ain't gonna make it. We have to acknowledge that we have haters in our inner circles and we have people that's gonna fuel our fire. And when you're real with yourself, you can start acknowledging who the haters are so that you can go ahead and focus and get them out and focus on the people that's actually fueling your fire. Will Smith just had a video not too long ago and saying that you need somebody to feed your flame. So the people in your life blowing air on your flame to diminish it or putting sticks in the fire to keep it burning. That's what you need to be real with yourself when you're going through emotional trauma.
Will Smith, he's been dropping some really good videos.
He has.
He's really been great.
He has. And
so that's the emotional detox.
That's the emotional detox.
I love that. And it's so interesting that you said that it's a lot of us, we tend to dwell. And I know that was one thing that Gary Vee was talking about when he was here in Philly last week. He's like, he's like the amount of dwelling that happens, because he's like, listen, on my Twitter, on his Facebook, on his IG, like he'll go over the comments, and it's always like, oh, I couldn't do this because this person still owes me $300, or I can't do this because, I was raised in a bad neighborhood. He's like, get over it. He's like, stop dwelling in the past. It's time to learn from it and continue, like go through. That's why I played that one song during break, is because she's like, listen, it's time to move on. It doesn't mean that we're running away. It just means that we're moving forward.
That's right.
That's, you know what I mean? So, okay. So,
all right. And then really quickly, because I know we are wrapping up.
Yes.
For spiritual detoxification, the easiest one to do with a spiritual detox is to do a magnesium sulfate bath, which is a bath salt soak, and it would cleanse your energy out, right? The reason it cleanses your energy out is because it helps your organ. First off, your skin is the largest organ on your body, and by using the salt and the water in it, it draws out the toxins and any heavy metals that's in the tissue, right? So it draws that out. And then it feeds your body with trace minerals of things that your body needs, and it's absorbed through the skin to help enhance your health. Then on top of that, any skin conditions that you may have going on, right? It aids with getting rid of the bacteria, debris, the dead skin, because your cellular turnover isn't going, and it makes you feel rejuvenated and fresh like you were young. Salt water also helps relieves muscle aches and body pains, okay? So if you have any sore joints, if you're arthritic, if you're athletic, whatever the case may be, if you're overweight and your knees hurt, do a salt bath, and it helps increase your circulation and your blood flow. And by doing all of that and removing all of that, guess what? Your spirit is operating on a higher vibration. So if you were at 100 hertz, you'll be at 628 hertz. Okay. So it's about raising your vibration so that you can get those clear downloads from the Most High Yah, so that you can go ahead and live the life of abundance that you need. And that was a quick spiritual detox. I appreciate you all for having me on today.
Let me tell you, Monique is on fire right now, and I wish you can all just feel her energy, because it is so, I feel so good just by being in her presence. You're absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being here. So where can they find you?
Oh my gosh, I am at Softly Rugged everywhere. Softly Rugged on Instagram, Softly Rugged on Twitter, Softly Rugged on Facebook, and as well as Monique O'Neal. You can go ahead and friend me if you like. I'm Softly Rugged on Periscope. I'm Softly Rugged on Snapchat, even though I don't snap and chat that often. I feel as though I'm a little too grown for Snapchat, but I am on there as well. I'm Softly Rugged everywhere. You can go to www.softlyrugged.com for physical products that I'm selling. And if you want to work with me directly and have that one-on-one special consultation, go to bit.ly holistic power. That's bit.ly HOLISTICPOWER, and schedule a consultation with me. I have a special going on with a 3-week program that we're going to have weekly sessions. You're going to have homework, and I'm going to create a whole holistic lifestyle change for you. So your mind, your body, and soul. So you're going to be getting food regimens, herbal regimens, everything. So yes, check your girl out. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Monique. Thank you so much to everyone listening. I truly appreciate you. You're definitely like my friends, my good friends.
Yes. Yes, we are. We are.
I'm going to play a little Miguel. Like I've been listening to Miguel for just all last week, along with Ariana Grande. I made like a little playlist because when you're sitting there on the computer, you're coding, like you want to hear like something that like feels good, right? So I'm gonna play Miguel, but before that, I want to say enjoy your day. Up next is Delilah Robin, or the Delilah Robin Show. It might be a replay show. I'm not sure if she's going to be coming here live in the studio. But also, don't forget about the WPPM Fund Drive. Definitely, so we can make our goal and just bring you programming like this. I mean, Monique O'Neal is amazing. She just dropped some gems right now, and I was trying to take notes and listen at the same time. I'm like, girl, slow down. I'm trying to take it. But the replay will be up this week, so don't worry about that. And then also I have information on my Facebook page, and just check out Monique at Softly Rugged, and she does a ton of live videos too, so which is cool. I'm just going to say thank you so much. Stay lit, love inspired, and true. Until next time. Bye.